Welcome back to a new video. So, I went a little bit back and forth with what I wanted today to look like, but I am going to do less volume in the snatch and clean jerk, so I'm not going to try to do multiple sets like I did yesterday. I'm going to do a little bit less reps, or at least just go up to a top set for both the, I'm going to do no foot power, no foot, and an overhead squat, and go up to 80 with that. And then for clean jerk stuff, I'm just going to do, so I'm not going to do two cleans, I'm just going to do a full clean, maybe a no foot clean, I'm thinking about it, but just one clean and then two push presses, and then get up to just do 70 and 110, and then try to do some volume with the front squat, and maybe start to adjust some of the days like that to where if I'm doing weightlifting volume, it's just a squat single of some sort, and then pulls, and then if I'm doing less weightlifting volume or just going up to the top set, then those are days where I'm going to be doing squat volume and kind of balance the two, since it's hard to do everything at once. The cold is on its way out, I think. I don't really feel bad. I don't have any symptoms other than a runny / stuffy nose, and it keeps going back and forth, and right now it's, for the last couple hours, it's been just runny. So we've been dealing with that, which is more annoying than actually like impacting of anything. So I may have to do some tactical pauses of the recording to go blow my nose, but got some groceries coming later tonight, so I do need to, I actually have to show my ID for it because I ordered some more cold medicine. I don't know why you need it for daytime medicine. I thought it was just for nighttime medicine, but apparently I'm going to turn into a Breaking Bad episode with my 40 daytime cold medicine tablets. But do no footwork and see how everything's feeling and moving. But got over 10,000 steps today, and I was actively not trying to get 10,000 steps. Not necessarily like I just wasn't moving extra. I was sitting down more than what I had been even the last couple days. So if I was up and moving to a typical amount, I probably would have got closer to 11,000. And it kind of shows that, especially if I'm under the weather a little bit, that having that ability to sit down and still be able to manage a class for a little bit is nice, but also kind of necessary so I don't run myself into the dirt. Not even just for lifting, just in general. I wouldn't want to necessarily be racking up 15,000 plus steps every day, because I'd just be exhausted when I get home, and I'd probably lose weight a lot faster, and I have to eat a lot more food. I was about 232 this morning, and probably, I think it was like 232 and like a half, so like with the clothes I had on, they were pretty light, so it was probably closer to 232, so not as low as I was the previous day, but that's usually what happens is, it's trending down, but it kind of, goes up and down a little bit, which I didn't really expect to be all the way down to 230 and have that be like a stable weight, so, theoretically a couple more pounds to go. I think, obviously we're moving on the right track, so just have to make sure that I am not losing weight too quickly. But finish the first, unit of the year, which is just welcome back activities, practicing routines and stuff like that. But now I think I'm going to do jump roping as the next unit. Basically, if I can find the jump ropes easily tomorrow morning, we'll start those. At the last year, I did them towards the end of the year, but I'm thinking, since it's going to be nice out till really past November, then we'll continue to do them for a while. I actually need to bring a towel out here. My nose is just I don't want to be sucking it on my snot, so we're going to grab a towel. We have secured the towel. My shoes feel loose. I don't know why that is. I don't know if I just didn't tie them very tight. I'm a weird person in many ways, but one of the things I really like for training, and what makes me like a shoe more than not, is how tight I can tie them. And that's one of the reasons I like the Tiers, is they're like the Ramaleos with the straps, so I can tie the shoe tight, but then the straps I can kind of get even tighter. At least for the top part of the shoe, the bottom of it I don't really need. The problem with the Ramaleos is, for me, is they're too narrow. Otherwise, I would have just always worn those forever. But with these, I get the same 2 straps system as you get with the Ramaleos, but they are wider on my feet, which is nice. The bottom strap doesn't matter. Like, I never really go crazy with that one, but I really like the top one to be squeezing my ankles, and I think that's probably something that I developed even, I don't know, it's probably just an idiosyncrasy that I can't really explain, but if I had to theorize, it's probably from having to wear, not really having, but rolling my ankles as a kid, playing youth basketball and wearing like an ankle thing on, and just feeling that compression. I think that's always felt nice, just to have something on. And even when I was in, 5th grade, I had some, it was like Augenslager with the growth plate that's there. Just creates, it just gets, gives you pain. I had like a little band thing you put on it, because theoretically if you have pressure on it, it helps it with a little bit, but that's what it's like, the idea of like not having pain is a foreign concept, because I honestly, like, 5th grade, like, there's not much more before that I remember, like, nothing hurting in some fashion, and I'm sure there was before that time, but like, I experienced not horrific knee pain, but like enough to make me remember it and rolled my ankles and stuff. So it's just funny, it's like people are like, this hurts or that hurts. I'm like, you're always going to be hurt. Something's going to hurt. If something's not hurting, you're probably not doing it. Like, I don't even think if I did nothing, that nothing would hurt. That's another philosophy that I have as well, is like, if I just sat and did nothing, then I would hurt. And so why not be in pain doing cool things and being fit versus being hurt because I'm not moving? I don't think you get a choice with pain. Or maybe I'm delusional. Maybe everyone in the world is just pain-free except for me, but I'd rather get achy from lifting weights than being achy from sitting and being 100 pounds overweight. I get to choose my pain. I get to choose how I hurt myself. You are just hurt. We are not the same. One more warm-up. Debut. I almost had to step backwards. I guess I didn't do the overhead squat with the bar. But no foot power, no foot overhead squat, and just the 3 sets. So see, this kind of shirt is one, I think it's the extra large, and I don't hate it. It's too strong of a word, but like, it feels too tight, and I don't think it actually is. But like, I love baggier shirts. That's why I get 2XL and everything. I probably am truly like an XL shirt wearer. But my arms are too big for this little shirt. And I feel like all my muscles are just always flexing it. I guess some people like that. I'm talking about like liking the compression for my joints, but like shirts I've never liked. And that's probably just from insecurities when I was a kid. Although, I always remember it being more comfortable for sports having baggier stuff, so maybe there's a deep psychological reason to why I like baggy clothes. I say that now, and I have tights on and a tight shirt and talk about, but just like living life. I guess if they're tight, if they're flexible, then I'm okay. It's tight and restricting. That's what I don't like. Like jeans, I don't like for that reason. Alright. enough psychological analysis of my clothing preferences. I don't know exactly how to describe it, but it feels like my wrist, I guess maybe it's more neutral. I don't know, I feel like I have like even like the straps isn't the difference, but I feel like I'm gripping the bar more. I don't know how to explain that feeling I have. It feels good. Like it feels like a mobility difference. I think it is probably a difference of wrist flexion or extension. So maybe my wrist is going into less extension at the top, so it feels like a more strong grip. Can't really explain that, but it feels better. Feels stronger. And I think even like now, jumping back to like a cardio topic, the fact that I'm just ready just to do the next set, I don't really have any, not winded at all. Even though I'm not probably at best oxygen capacity with my nose being, it's not actually stuffed, it's draining now, which hopefully means tomorrow I'll be mostly all the way back. Thankfully, pretty minor cold. You can hear my fans cheering for me. RP nose dripping. My snotty rag. Reps feel really good. Definitely feel like the bottom of my squat's deeper. The office at school has candy in it for teachers. And so I like to, that's basically the only time I have candy is at school. A little trick of my diet. I just don't buy junk food. I just eat it when I'm at school. But there's Hershey Kisses in there. But they're like all the ones I've never seen before, like cookies and cream. I had one that looked like caramel, but didn't really have a taste. They're kind of weird. The cookies and cream ones, I keep eating them. Like, I don't know if I like these, but I keep eating them. I know the strawberry ones I don't like. But the cookies and cream one, have you ever had like the chocolate bar or the cookies and cream bar, like from Hershey's? It's not really like that flavor. It's chalkier. I don't know why it's different, but it's the same brand even. It's, Hershey. but it like doesn't get into that Hershey Kiss shape very well. But those are just been interesting. It's like, I don't even want to eat them, but I'm just like, I keep thinking they'll taste better. Regular chocolate's good for me though. Hopefully they get a replenish. That's basically all they have left. All the weird Kiss flavors. But dark chocolate is, the dark chocolate, anything dark chocolate is fantastic. Oh, I could eat a pound of dark chocolate every day. I could drink coffee, eat dark chocolate and watermelon, and live on, if I could live on those three things, that's all I would have. But not a lot of protein in those. So we'll do this top set here once I get the dust out of my eye. Maybe. But yeah, it's kind of nice. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I've maybe even figured out training a little bit. Like, maybe this is what I need to do during the week, because I'm still hitting good numbers at the end of the week. I got sick and I still hit good numbers. And the sessions during the week seemingly all are like continually getting better. Despite, you know, yesterday I added more sets, but like today I'm not adding more sets, but like the same weights are feeling better. It's very interesting. We'll keep doing, so I think right now the goal for these during the sessions, or the sessions during the week, is to eventually get all of the sessions that have multiple sets at the same weight. And then once I get to the point where I'm doing, I don't know, 5 sets maybe, certainly more than 3, or at least 3 at, you know, every day, then I can increase the intensity up a little bit. But I mean, it's working. I'm getting stronger, I'm losing body weight, and my weightlifting movements are feeling good. And I'm not wearing equipment. I guess I'm using straps. Alright. Gonna lock in for 80. I could feel it on the overhead squat, drifting a little forward to my left, but I didn't have to adjust with my feet. So that part is good. And I don't have any, like, it's just, I feel like I say this every video, it's like, I just have soreness, no pain. But when you lift, that is such an important distinction. It's like the idea is like, people, it's like, oh, you squat deep. You see those like meme comments, you're gonna hurt your knees or back. Like, I mean, it might hurt. It might make me sore, but it's not gonna hurt me. And that's I have the thought that somehow, if you just don't deadlift or squat, like, suddenly you're just never gonna have any pain. Most pain from lifting is loading parameters. Just going too hard. I also didn't, now I'm looking at it, I also didn't train this morning. I think it's just, I mean, it's laziness, but it's out of an abundance of caution to where I still feel like I have a cold, and I might start doing those sessions at night instead of in the morning. Especially when I weighed myself after eating. That's usually when I do like the pull-ups and stuff. If I have 4 pounds more, it's, even like, you know, not just the weight, but I feel bloated after eating, not necessarily in a bad way, but like, I guess like if I do like a sit and reach, like that doesn't feel comfortable. And that makes sense because I have eaten a lot of volume of food, not even a lot of calories. And I realized like, I probably don't want to do that and then try to do pull-ups and stuff. It'd probably be better to do it after training and then just, you know, treat it like that, because then my body weight will have stabilized throughout the day. And at night it's going to be the most normalized feeling I'm going to have. And usually I can balance it. I can do it right before I go to bed. I have more flexibility in the morning. It's like, again, I kind of have to do it right when I get up, either before I eat or right after I eat. And there's kind of a quick time crunch. And, as I get into the thick of the school year, it's kind of nice just to relax in the morning and just to, eat and watch stuff about the Cleveland Guardians. They're on a win streak right now, which is nice, but to, just catch up on that and just relax and get into my day, because it's not as if I, sit in an office all day. I'm walking, galloping, skipping, holding kids' hands, doing all that stuff to make sure that everyone can be active as much as they can. But we're going to do our clean and jerk work, so do 2 push presses with 70 and 110. I would like to do more. We'll do no foot cleans as well, but let's have to see how they feel. We'll do a tactical reset here, and then we'll hit the weights. We'll get yoked. So let's go ahead and hit 70 here. I could try to do this with straps. I'm sure 70 will feel fine, but I'm not trying to do doubles, so there's no reason to use them for a clean single. See, that one I kind of had it in a weird part of my hand. Just need to really be intentional when I catch it so it's in a comfortable spot. Left wrist is starting to get to the point where it's a little too achy, but still trying to power through it, because I think it is getting, it feels better than it did before. And I think without the equipment, it has no choice but to strengthen a little bit. So if we're lucky, we'll do 3. Mostly got to be intentional when I'm re-racking it to get it to be in a good, comfortable position. That felt really heavy. Did not even want to try to re-rack it. The push press felt heavy, the clean felt fine, but yeah, it just wasn't going to be there today, which we take those. We did a normal single, so 1 plus 2 at the lighter weight. I can live with that. I still didn't really catch it on the re-rack very well, but that first rep, I guess the only rep, felt heavy for sure. That is all right. There will be downstream consequences from doing increased volume the previous day on the weightlifting movements. As minimal as the increase was, there still is an impact. And it's just better not to go, especially if like something feels achy like my wrist, not to push it beyond what feels comfortable. But yeah, the left wrist is, I don't feel anything after, but it's just right before I do the push press. Alright, I'll do the first set here. Blow my nose, drink some water, and then do 110. I definitely feel less achy than yesterday. Definitely feel less achy. I don't know where my my phone is. Oh, there it is. Make sure there's nothing weird about my groceries. It's only like 6:30 now. So you shouldn't get here early. Of course, immediately get an email. That's actually hilarious. Literally, immediately, on cue. It's funny how that works. If you ever want to see me wearing little kids' headbands and ribbons, you can go to my Instagram. Anytime kids bring those, I just put them in my hair. A little bit harder now that my hair is shorter, but still is just as hilarious. Alright. Gonna do an easy 110. Well, see how 130 moves. Be 10 kilograms more than last week. Gonna chalk it up. My motorcycle gang out there. A big motorcycle guy. So I would like to do 3 sets of 3, but if it turns into doubles, then that's okay. hard, but not too hard. I was able to keep my 3 fingers on the whole time. I didn't have to fight too hard to keep my positions either. But we did 1 set of 3, so let's take it 1 set at a time. Give myself some grace and sit down. I feel like that meme, that like fighter that's sitting down with water. Oh man, 130's got some hands, but I'm just trying really hard to maintain my upper back position, which in turn keeps my elbows up, which I felt like I did a good job on that set. But that's more so my focus than like, you know, trying to be super explosive and dynamic. Just trying to make sure I can hold the positions. But yeah, a little bit of same achiness as yesterday, but definitely down a level. And that 3rd rep moved slow, but it was like a strength thing, which for me in front squats is always a nice thing when it's slow, not because it's slipping or positions are being lost, but just because of the mechanical load. Key with using a towel as a snot rag is to find different parts that don't have snot on it to use. Nothing would be more gross than using the same part. Thankfully it's like a big bath towel, not a small rag, but probably not the most sanitary thing to do. I'm gonna get all the people in my gym sick, all the people that you see around right now. And glistening. I noticed the other day I was moving my arm up and I had this big forearm vein. It looked kind of wild. I'll probably notice more veins if I lose a little bit more weight, but I never was like not veiny, vascular, but and it was never like anything freakish. But I've also never been like, I mean, I was skinny growing up, so I'm sure I had really low body fat then, but as I gained muscle, I was never like, I don't know. I want to say I wasn't lean, because I feel like I've always been kind of lean. But I guess not like bodybuilder shape, where you see all the weird veins. And I wasn't naturally, freakishly vascular. Just a normal, I feel like they're pretty normal veins. I remember when I was a kid, my hands were a lot veinier. They've thickened through age, but that's normal, I think. Maybe I just have arthritis, I don't know it. All right. Feeling like my left side, it's not dipping, but twisting. So I was fighting against that, but we'll do one more set. I'm not losing my front rack. I just feel like I'm twisting. I definitely have my hands in a slightly different position. My left hand, I can feel my shoulder in that position. So I think it's more narrow. But I mean, there's probably a variety of reasons why it's different, but hey, I'm not trying to do it. I'm trying to get it symmetrical, but I'm sure there's an external, internal rotation difference between the two shoulders. Probably even before I injured my left shoulder. I mean, I probably have always had imbalances in many ways from all the years of playing baseball and just the years of external rotation for throwing a ball and growing. I don't know what difference is, but I would imagine that the mobility is at least not symmetrical. Probably for 99.9% of people, but I feel like baseball players probably have a naturally more asymmetrical build, just because you're so one way or the other dominant. Which is interesting that most of my issues have been with my non-throwing shoulder, and I've never had any issues with my throwing shoulder, which might lead you to conclude that throwing a baseball makes your shoulder stronger. So maybe youth athletes should throw with both arms. But I think I just got lucky with good genetics on one side. I don't know. I don't know why the left hit. And I've been good about doing band work when I did it, all the strength exercises for both sides. So it's no sort of imbalance like that, but it's probably just some sort of twisting difference. That's probably not even related to the shoulders. It's probably related to the trunk and the hips and stuff that puts the left shoulder kind of in a different position a little bit. And then with that sort of probably rotator cuff or whatever injury, kept it into that, exaggerated that position more. But now I'm just yapping, so I don't have to do the last set. I think I have to sneeze. Maybe not. Oh, it's the worst feeling. I've been getting a lot with this cold. Oh, that like sneezing feeling, but then not sneezing. But we got one more set. Honestly, I feel like I say this a lot too. Like, I'm surprised how well these are moving, but like they're hard sets. But I feel like biomechanically, I guess maybe that's the correct way. But I feel like it's difficult from the weight standpoint and not from a position holding standpoint. Just got to make sure I'm trying to go straight up and down, not like down with my elbows, but my shoulders, keeping them symmetrical with my hips. I guess with it straight up and down, parallel. Would that be parallel? Straight up and down? Not perpendicular. Yeah, it'd be parallel because they're all going up in a straight line. We don't want perpendicular action, which is inevitable the way I'm built. A little bit, because your hips have to go back and your shoulders have to go forward. Otherwise, you couldn't stay balanced. Even the most Chinese built athletes still have to have their hips go back a little bit. Your knees have to travel forward, your hips have to travel back, and your shoulders and chest and back have to go forward a little bit. There's I guess there's probably a few people that can keep a really symmetrical torso, but I bet if you measure the angle of their back, it would angle in slightly, even in the most extreme cases. But I get that German build. Long legs. I guess I'm pretty well proportioned, I would say, in general. I don't have anything that's too extreme, but I am 5'11", and I think that I have longer legs. At least I have flexible legs. I don't know. I don't know how I'm built and how I'm measured. I just feel like I'm a relatively symmetrical person. I don't think I have anything that's too extreme. I just have good levers for pulls because I'm a little bit longer, I guess. But my arms are the same as my height. I don't know. Maybe you have theories. You can tell me about why I'm like the way I'm built. Because I would say it's because I'm taller and so I'm longer in that sense. But it's not like I have a 6'4" wingspan. I don't know if I'd want that now. Alright, enough yapping. Keep the back in a good position. We'll do an easy triple. So I tried to intentionally move my left hand out a little bit, and I think that actually kept everything in a better position. So I don't know what it is, but I think my body wants to naturally tuck my elbow in on the left side. So starting it out there a little bit more, kind of had that natural fight against it. I mean, the second rep felt the best. Third one, technique felt good still, just hard from the weight standpoint. Oh, but we did it. We did all three. I don't think I would have been able to do that yesterday. Especially with how difficult it was today, I'd imagine. Trying to do it yesterday with how I felt, soreness-wise, would have just not ended well for reps. Oh, but I am going to go in, take a very nice shower just to help drain my sinuses more and live my life, aka play video games. Live the most boring life, but it's only boring relative to other people, I suppose. Just like my eating habits. I eat the same things every day. It's only boring to other people. To me, food, I like food, I like good food, I like different foods, but it's also easier just to have the same food. Especially if you're tracking your weight and trying to lose weight. It's significantly easier if you're having the same meal on a frequent basis, to like the oatmeal example, to where I just added another packet to breakfast. You know, you can increase the servings, which it reminds me I should have ordered. I meant to order regular oatmeal to add with the instant, and use the instant to basically get the flavor with the sugar and stuff, and have the instant to just add more volume. So I don't have to use 3 packets. I could just use 1 and then add normal oats, because I don't need it to be super sweet, but it's alright. I can afford the... I got a instant oatmeal packet money. I don't mean to flex on you guys, but I can afford to splurge the extra like 5 cents per ounce that it is for the instant packets versus the giant container. But my cheapness runneth over, that's for sure. But speaking of finances, doing well in that regard. We're doing one more tactical reset. Or no, it says 5 minutes. We're chilling. But we are, are doing well financially, thankfully. But the pay scale, or my pay increase, so every year as a teacher, you move up a step on the pay scale. Right now, the way our contract is just made, a lot of schools are similar in this regard, but right now I'm at a master's, and I'm moving at some point soon to a master's plus 15. Last year I moved from a bachelor's to master's, so that's a couple thousand increase, and then that's, you stay in that new column. So there's 4 columns, and you move over 1, and then you move down the rows, and getting the master's plus 15 will be good, because I'll get another, because I get the pay increase from the next school year, or this school year that just started, and then I'll get the master's plus 15. And what's also nice is you can't submit anything during the summer, so you have to do it at the beginning of the school year. But let's say they approve it in, like last year, they messed up and waited a while longer, and it wasn't updated till like October. But all of the payments that should have been higher, so basically from like now when the new contract start, or the new year starts for school, you get all that back pay. So you don't lose money if they're slow, which that'd be pretty funny if it was like that, because then they would take forever to do it. But you get all of that back pay, and then you just continue with that step into the next year. But I'll get the master's plus 15 this year, and then I'll go to master's 30 next year. I'll have to do some more classes, and once I have that done, then it's really just maintaining my licensure forever, because you can't, master's plus 30, and it's 30 like graduate hours. So I theoretically could do another master's, but it's a lot cheaper just to do the grad school level classes. And then I'll just be able to just continue to steadily make more money over the years, and you know, I'll never be rich in that regard to where I'm going to be making, you know, $1 million a year, but I'll be well off, and the benefits of good, and you know, obviously I like my job, so there is that, you know, huge benefit as well. That it's hard, you can't really quantify that. You can quantify the benefits and stuff like that are really good for teaching, especially in the state of Ohio, but you can't really quantify like enjoying going to work. And it's hard to feel like, well, you know, my first couple of years of teaching when I was a special ed teacher, like the summers, you know, the end of the summer was hard because you had to go back to the, you know, to the grind of being a special ed teacher, and even the first couple of years of phys ed. But now it's like I'm in the groove of it, so it's just, I wasn't, like the things I was not looking forward to coming back to the school year were more like, I won't say administrative, but more so like the schedule of I have to be up early, I have to go to the intro to the convocation thing, you know, like the kind of the other stuff. But like the day to day, like it's good, it's fun, it's, you know, I got a great job. You can't get any better than what I have, in my opinion. I mean, to enjoy what I do, to feel, I mean, appreciated by other adults is always nice, but like when you got kids coming up and you know, saying like I had fun today, or like this is really fun, like my troll brain is thinking that they're messing with me, but like kids don't have that mental capacity to do that yet. So they're like, this is really fun, like they genuinely mean that, and it's cool when they have that, and it creates more motivation to always be trying to do something better and trying to make things run as smoothly as possible, and to really be, just to try to let the kids have fun. Like that's the kind of the cool thing is like you'll forget a lot of the kids that you worked with, but you remember as a kid all of the teachers that you had. And you know, I think back of, you know, a variety of teachers you have throughout your life, and they will forget you almost assuredly because of just a sheer volume of students that you have. But you remember a lot more kids than I guess some people might expect. But like kids obviously remember their teacher a lot more in depth than the other way around, and it's cool to have that like super long impact. It's kind of wild to think about that, you know, the kids I first worked with are, you know, adults, and scary in some ways, but it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice because I don't have my own family. Hopefully at some point I will, but even if that never happens, I still get to hopefully have a, you know, a nice little impact. But that's going to be it for this one. If you made it to this point in my ramblings, have a good one and take care. Peace.